All right. Uh, Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us. I see already 10 of you are actually in this webinar. I believe over 90 people were actually showing interest in attending. So I think this is something that a lot of people are interested in, which I'm really glad about, that we can talk about this initiative to a wider audience. And just a reminder for everybody as well, this is live, but it's also going to be recorded to our LinkedIn and our YouTube channels as well. So you guys can go back and rewatch it again if you guys have any questions, as well as some of the links for Jobbsprånget, whether it comes to people wanting to apply or employers that are interested. Then we'll put the links in the comments for that afterwards as well. But thank you, everybody, for joining. And I'm very excited to have our guest today because we are going to be talking about Jobbsprånget, which is a really important initiative in Sweden, and I think that one that not enough people know about. So we're really excited to talk about that today. So I'm going to bring this up, and maybe we should start with some introductions.
Yes, hello everyone, and first I would like to thank Saya for the opportunity, and of course Emigrate for this opportunity to tell people more about Jobbsprånget, what we do, and the special initiative we have for ex-Northvolters. So I'm going to tell you more about the Jobbsprånget itself as a regular internship program, as well as the special initiative for ex-Northvolters. But let me first introduce myself. My name is Laras Piniji, and I work as digital communications manager at Jobbsprånget, and I've been working here since 2016. And I came to Sweden as a love immigrant because my husband got a job here. And of course, I would follow him wherever he takes me. So we moved here as a family from Dubai, from the United Arab Emirates. And we were originally from Indonesia. So it was quite a big shock for everyone when we landed in April 2012. And everyone thought it would be spring, but it's white overall because it's covered with snow. So that was the first shock of Sweden, and then come the culture shock, the job market shock, and other kinds of shocks, uh, as is normal for family migrating to a new country and environment. But we never look back, and we have settled down here as a family, and I have settled down here also as part of the Swedish job market. And I've been in the same shoes as most of you guys looking to enter the Swedish job market. It was not easy in the beginning, but my first entrance to the Swedish job market was actually through internship. It was not Jobbsprånget internship. It was an internship that I found myself through my search, but it is really the first step that took me into the Swedish job market. So that's why I'm so passionate about telling you more about how internship can boost your career in Sweden.
So you definitely have a personal relationship with this story that Jobbsprånget has as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think many of you can take advantage of internship program to help you enter the job market. So a little bit about the background of Jobbsprånget, what it really is. So we are Sweden's largest internship program for foreign-born academics. And the internship program is free of charge, both for the participants, for the foreign-born academics, as well as for employers wanting to receive interns. The internship itself is unpaid, and it is run in cooperation with Arbetsförmedlingen, or the Swedish Public Employment Service. The program is financed by the Swedish government, partially financed, as well as the Marianne and Marcus Wallenberg Foundation. And we started as a pilot back in 2016. So we've been here for quite some time now. And when we started, we actually just had 15 interns, 15. So we started small, actually, Saya.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's grown a lot since then.
Yeah. And the purpose of Jobbsprånget is actually to create a bridge to the Swedish job market for foreign-born talents. And when people participate in the internship program, these are the three things that we want them to have through the program. The first thing is, of course, the valuable contacts, because as you know, Saya, contacts, professional contacts are very, very important to have in Sweden for you to be able to build your professional network. And then the second thing that we want the participants to have is to have relevant experience that connects to their educational or professional background. And then the third thing that we want them to have is to be able to experience firsthand the Swedish working cultures, because I myself, coming from Indonesia, I experienced lots of differences, be it in the terms of being lagom in your workplace, and then the fika culture. We don't have fika as often as people here in Sweden. And for example, just the CV writing culture. In Indonesian job market, for example, it is very much acceptable to have more than 2, 3, or 4 pages of CV, because then you can have all your experience, educational experience as well, your awards, your achievements in one huge CV. But it's not the case here in Sweden. So this is something that we want the foreign-born talents to learn and experience.
That makes sense. I think especially when I was on my job search initially when I moved here, I was often told that like it's the first job that's the hardest to get.
Yeah.
And after that, in this job market, it might not be quite the same thing anymore. But from the second one, it's much easier. But a lot of employers just want to see some Swedish context.
Yes,
when they're hiring.
That's absolutely true. And if you remember in the beginning, Saya, I mentioned that when Jobbsprånget started as a pilot back in 2016, we only had 15 interns. And fast forward to 2025, we have helped more than 5,000 foreign-born academics to have internship to our program. So this is something that we're very happy about and we're very proud of. And of course, we would like to help more.
Yeah, that's amazing. 5,000 is just from 15 in a pilot program only less than 10 years ago.
10 years, yeah.
Is very impressive.
And another positive result from the internship program is that more than 60% of the interns get a job that are relevant to their professional and educational background after the internship. And this number actually varies from year to year, Saya. And of course, sometimes it correlates to the economic situation, the job market situation as well. But we have reached, I think the highest was 70% of interns, and now it's down a little bit to 60, but we are trying hard to improve the numbers again. We want more people, of course, to get a job after the internship.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do know. I actually personally know a Jobbsprånget success story as well. So it's been nice to also see that personally happen.
Yeah. And something that we are also very happy about from the employer side is that more than 700 employers have participated in Jobbsprånget since 2016. And it's spread in over 50 locations all over Sweden. So we have employers from Skåne in the south until Umeå up in the north part of Sweden. And we have all kinds of employers. We have multinational giants such as Volvo or H&M or IKEA, but we also have mid-size employers, small startups, and public sectors, and even educational institutions. Okay. So I think everyone can find something here. And then this is for the regular program, the requirements to participate. So you need to have a university or college degree, and you need to be born outside of Europe, or you need to be born in Ukraine and are in Sweden on the temporary protection directive.
Okay.
So that's a hard requirement that is set together with Arbetsförmedlingen, or the Swedish Public Employment Service. And you need to have a valid residence and working permit and not a student visa. So unfortunately, if you're a student, you will not be eligible to participate in Jobbsprånget. You need to finish your studies first and then convert your student visa into job seeking visa. Then you will be able to participate in Jobbsprånget.
Okay.
And then another requirement is that you need to be proficient in English. But if you're not really comfortable in English, then Swedish can also work.
Okay.
And then last but not least, you need to be registered as a job seeker at Arbetsförmedlingen, or the Swedish Public Employment Service. And you need to have booked or have done your initial planning meeting with Arbetsförmedlingen. And I think this is something quite common. After you register at the employment service, they want you to book your planning meeting to discuss what's your goal and ambition in this job searching process that you are in.
Okay, so the general recommendation is then if you want to participate in Jobbsprånget, then it's important to start kind of planning early. So if you move to Sweden with a university degree and you have a Sambo permit, for example, the ideal would be to kind of register as a job seeker at Arbetsförmedlingen right away to have the initial planning, and then apply to participate in Jobbsprånget. But it's really important that people don't leave things to the last minute, because things require due process.
Yes, indeed. So I'm going to explain the steps a little bit here, Saya. Okay. So the first step is you need to visit our website, of course, because everything is done digitally. So you first need to visit our website, www.jobbsprånget.se. And then the second step is to create a profile. And please keep in mind that you will need to have bank ID or a Freya EID to be able to create a profile. So we need you to have a, how do you say, this is like a, how to legitimate yourself in a safe way. And you need to complete the required visa documents. So we have a requirement for you to upload, for example, as you say, if you have a Sambo visa, you can ask Migrationsverket or the migration agency for the decision document that you receive when you first come to Sweden. And it will contain the type or the visa class that you have. And that's what we need to see for us to be able to decide if you're eligible or not to participate.
Okay. Does it also work, for example, if they upload, can they upload a copy of their residence card? Because usually on the back it'll say whether they can or
it depends.
Like, they may work.
It depends. If you are a permanent residence holder, then you can upload your PUT. I think it's called Permanent Uppehållstillståndskort. And also, if you're from Ukraine and you have this temporary protection directive, it will also state in the residence permit card. But if you have a temporary visa or permit, it's not acceptable because we cannot see the visa class in the temporary visa card. So that you need to request a copy of your decision document to Migrationsverket, and they will usually send it to your home address within a week. So you can, I mean, you have plenty of time to do it.
My general requirement, though, for anybody watching is like when you get a decision letter, you should keep track of all your decision letters and keep digital copies anyways, because if in the future people want to, if you want to work and you're on a different permit type, your employer is still required to actually have proof of your right to work for the duration of your employment period and for up to a year afterwards. So even if you're here on a Sambo permit, they're still required to check that you have the right to work, and they're still required to hold on to copies of your right to work as well. So like a lot of people tend not to, they lose their decision letter or don't pay much attention. The decision letter is super important to hold on to and keep a digital copy. And
Yeah.
it's important for all immigrants to know in Sweden.
Yes, good advice, Aya. And then the next step is, of course, to apply to the different internship opportunities available that is relevant to your profile. And the first two steps, step 1 and step 2, can be done at any time of the year. You can even create a profile now on our website. But the third step, applying to the different internship opportunities, can only be done when we open our application period. And we only have 2 each year. The first one is in the summertime, between 16th of July until 16th of August. And the second one is in the winter time. It's between December 16th and January 16th. So please keep in mind, you can always visit our website, create a profile any time of the year, but you can only apply within our application periods. July 16 and August 16 is the closest one that we have now.
Yeah.
And then the next step, or the fourth step, is when the employers will contact the chosen candidates for interview. So I just want to emphasize here that we are not doing the matching. The candidates or the applicants need to apply actively to the internship opportunity that they prefer or that are relevant for them. And then the employers also need to filter out the applications themselves and then choose the candidates that they prefer and contact them to book for interview. So Jobbsprånget only acts as a platform. So we are bridging the contacts between the candidates, the applicants, and the employers. So you will need to actively apply, and the employers will need to actively choose their preferred candidates.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it cuts out some of the noise in terms of, obviously then you have employers that are actively always looking for interns, but also that in general then they indicate a willingness to hire internationals and to kind of participate in the kind of further education and growth of internationals that are in Sweden as well. So it helps cut down on the noise and gives you just one platform where you can actually see who's hiring too.
Yeah. And then I'm just going to take us to some of stories from our alumni, past alumni. The first one we see here, her name is Saba Majid, and she's an associate product manager at Massive Entertainment, the company that produces, I think, digital games. And this is a quote from Saba. Jobbsprånget turns out to be like a red carpet for me. It helped me get through the whole recruitment process way easier. Before joining the program, I could not get through. So what Saba meant with her quote is that she actually been applying to Massive Entertainment for a long time before joining Jobbsprånget, but she couldn't get through. She couldn't get through even past the interview phase. But once she applied to Jobbsprånget, she was seen. She became visible. She got internship, and then she got to show her capabilities, her competence, her skills, and then finally get hired. So that's why she called Jobbsprånget as a red carpet for her.
Yeah.
And then another story is from Puya, one of our alumni ambassador. And this is his quote. I would definitely recommend Jobbsprånget. It's a faster way to get into the job market. You'll know the culture better, you make friends, and increase your chance. What would be better than this? So Puya's story is quite interesting because he's actually doing a weekly commute from Stockholm to Gothenburg. So he lives in Stockholm, but he got an internship at Volvo Cars in Gothenburg. I believe you are located in Gothenburg, right, Saya?
Yeah, we are.
So if you can imagine doing a weekly commute from Stockholm to Gothenburg, but it shows his commitment and how he understands the importance of doing this internship. And he was so well appreciated by his colleagues, by his mentor. And by the end of the internship, of course, he was offered an employment, but he was actually already accepting an offer from a company based in Stockholm, so he had to turn it down.
Yeah.
But I think it shows that once you put yourself out there and you become visible to Swedish employers, you became more and more attractive, I think, in the job market.
I think a lot of the companies too that participate in Jobbsprånget have very strong branding in Sweden as well. So typically
Yeah.
then, like if you've done things with Volvo, that's quite a good stamp of approval when other employers, when you're applying as well.
Exactly. It gives so much boost to your CV once you have that experience in the CV.
Mm.
And I think we can go ahead and talk about the initiative for the ex-Northvolters, and I'm going to explain also a little bit of the differences between the regular Jobbsprånget program and this special initiative for ex-Northvolters. So, as you may know, with the situation that we have with Northvolt, Jobbsprånget was really kind of affected in a way that we want to do something for the people that was laid off from Northvolt. So once we heard the news, we tried to contact people. We contacted our participating employers and asked if we can do something together. And then came this initiative. So we asked the participating employers who were willing to offer internship opportunities for ex-Northvolters to start publishing their internship ads. And then we have a massive interest from our participating employers, and we managed to gather around 190 available positions in quite a short time. And it's a huge range of fields and positions that they're looking for. It's ranging between engineering, IT, marketing, logistics, finance, HR, and many more. And we see this special Northvolt initiative as a stepping stone from those people laid off from Northvolt to go back to the job market. And it's also kind of like emergency situations, if you can say so, because of the grace period they have. I think it's only 3 months. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we need to act really fast and take advantage of the time, the short time that they have to stay in Sweden. So what we're trying to do is just collect as many internship opportunities as possible and try to inform as many people as possible that we have here. While you're also looking for other opportunities, take this chance. If you can upload your CV and then just put yourself out there for the employers to see. So as this is something that is kind of like a pilot, we also still have a lot of things to learn, especially when it comes to the policies of the migration agency, as well as from the employment service. So sometimes there's quite uncertainty behind the program, behind this initiative. So we try to update our web page as best as we can. So the best way to stay updated regarding this special initiative is to keep an eye on jobbsprånget.se/Northvolt, or you can always drop us a mail at info@jobbsprånget.se. Because we can still see that things are changing, things are moving fast.
So I think the main differentiator, so people understand, is that with the Northvolt one, it's not set at 2 different times of years. So it's not the July application period and December application period, like it is for standard Jobbsprånget, and the internships are more fast track and shorter. So they're also less than 4 months because people have then at most 3 months.
Yes,
for
exactly.
these internships.
Exactly. So there are no fixed dates for the start and end. They can start whenever, but I will explain more when I talk about the timeline. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about the requirements, so how they differ with the regular program. The first requirement is, of course, you need to be registered at Arbetsförmedlingen, and you need to be laid off from Northvolt. If you haven't worked for Northvolt, so unfortunately you cannot join this initiative. So it's especially for ex-Northvolters. You need to be born outside of Sweden. So this is how the program differs as well. In the regular program, you need to be born outside of Europe. And here you need to be born outside of Sweden. Of course, you need to be an active job seeker registered at Arbetsförmedlingen, and you need to have English proficiency. And it's not a big problem, I believe, for our ex-Northvolters.
Yeah.
And this is the timeline. So it's not the same at all, and it's also a bit different in the process or in the steps. The first one, of course, we visit our website, create a profile, and we have some questions that you need to answer, so we know more about where you stand in the process, your skills, and your willingness to move to another city, for example. And then the next step is to upload a generic CV in English. But what we mean with generic is a CV that contains your primary skills and the skills that other skills that you have that can be used to to apply to different opportunities. And then the next step is that Jobbsprånget will actually connect you to ads that are matching your profile, and these ads will be visible in your account. So this is how the initiative again differ with the regular program. In the regular program, the candidates need to apply themselves to the different internship opportunities. But here in the Northvolt initiative, because of the short period of time that we have and we need to act fast, it is Jobbsprånget that actually doing all the matching for the Northvolt candidates and the employers. And once we match the candidates with the internship ads that are available in our portal, the employers will be informed and they will contact the preferred candidates directly. And then the next step, so once the candidate and the employer agree on the starting date and the length of internship, then Jobbsprånget will help with the formalities with Arbetsförmedlingen.
And I will say, we were helping a company that was working with the Jobbsprånget Northvolt initiative, and Jobbsprånget was extremely fast at kind of updating the employer on what the next steps were. It was very thorough. So I will say on the administrative end, on Jobbsprånget's side, it was a very fast, efficient process, I would say.
Yes, I think that's it from us for the information about the internship program and the special Northvolt initiative. If you want to know more, just visit our website. We have a friendly help bot called Noah that can answer your question, or visit the Q&A page that we have on our website. It's also very detailed. And you are most welcome to contact us at info@jobbsprånget.se, and we have about, I think, 48 hours response time. I think that's it. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn to get the latest updates.
I think it's also important to know then for everybody, or anybody that's been laid off from Northvolt, because we've obviously talked about the immigration of this a lot as well, is that people generally have maximum 3 months from their last date of employment. I believe you can probably, if you find an internship and let's say you're not really working right now, but you're still in your notice period, then I would recommend contacting your HR at Northvolt to discuss whether you can be released early or what that sort of thing is, but you need to confirm that, I believe, before you can start the internship. So I wouldn't recommend, like, you should get it in writing if you're released early to start an internship. And then also, unfortunately, I believe if you are in your waiting period for your extension or your application, then the 3-month period doesn't actually apply because you're not on a valid permit. So these are kind of just some important deadlines to know as well when it comes to applying for the Northvolt initiative as well. But I was thinking we could have a really quick chat because you said so 60% of people then find kind of full-time employment afterwards. How does it, I mean, what kind of job opportunities exist afterwards? Have you found that it's a lot of times the company that did the internships that hires that person, or is it a lot of them actually being able to leverage that for other work opportunities?
First of all, I need to correct you on the full-time employment. 60%, it's actually broader than just full-time employment. So any kind of employment or contract is considered in the statistic, in the numbers. So it's not just full-time employment. It can be temporary, it can be project employment, for example, as long as it's a paid
I guess that's what I should have said, or I meant was 60% find paid employment afterwards.
Yeah, paid employment, yes. And actually what's interesting, Saya, is actually only 50% of those that get a job after internship get it at the same company or organization that they were interning at. So the other half got it somewhere else. And that actually shows that how internship, you can use the internship as the stepping stone, as a boost in your CV. Because as you said, once you get that experience in the Swedish context on your CV, it will make your profile more attractive. And I believe it has also something to do with trust in the Swedish working culture. Trust is very important here. If you just come from another place, another country, another culture, I think it's quite hard for Swedish employers to just trust you 100% and take you in as an employee. But once you get that Swedish context, okay, they see that someone have trusted you before. You have been included in a Swedish context, in a Swedish workplace. And that made them feel safer, I think, to hire this stranger in the Swedish job market, I think. So I think that also helps to put us in a Swedish context, this internship program.
That makes sense. If you are somebody participating and you have an internship, how would you suggest that they optimize that internship opportunity in order to kind of increase their chances of finding employment afterwards?
We recommend people to be transparent. I believe 100% of the interns want a job at the end of their internship. It's not guaranteed. It's not always possible. Sometimes the companies don't have budget. Sometimes they don't have the headcounts and so on. And we don't want people to just focus on employment. I think internship is also a great way for you to learn and to put yourself out there, not to the company itself, but also to the network of the people working in that company or organization. So we encourage our interns to put yourself out there, ask people to have digital fika or fika on site, ask your mentors, your managers, your colleagues to introduce you to their network, and use them to on LinkedIn, for example. Ask them to write a recommendation on LinkedIn. Ask them to introduce you as a post on LinkedIn. I've seen mentors introduce their interns on LinkedIn, and I think that's a really smart way to just open up and put yourself out there, especially when LinkedIn is so big in the Swedish context. I think almost everyone working has a LinkedIn profile in Sweden.
Yeah.
And that is also something that differs from the culture in my home country. Not everyone has a LinkedIn profile. It's not as popular as it is in Sweden. So we encourage to, use your mentors as a reference, use LinkedIn as a platform to introduce yourself to bigger, to help you build bigger networks. So I think that's what sometimes we need to remind the interns and international talents. Use your network for a good cause to introduce you to a bigger network.
That makes sense. I think it's also good for people to actually start engaging more on LinkedIn and find not only post yourself about the experience that you've been having and what you've been working with, but also find kind of a niche or something you're passionate about or that you can write about within the LinkedIn sphere. And it can even just be start posting once a month, but start to increase your own online presence as well.
Yeah.
And just start interacting kind of slowly. Because I think Swedes tend to like the slow burn a bit more. You need to first start commenting on people's posts, and then you can start sending requests, but don't send a bunch of requests last minute and then be like, can you help me?
Yeah. And then another thing that we like to remind our interns and alumni is that try to be more personal, be it in your cover letter or or on your LinkedIn post, for example. I think being personal, we will add more of that, storytelling part of your career journey. I think it's always nice to have a personal touch, but don't let it become too private, because I don't think that um, that works well in the Swedish context. So be personal, but not private. Private is something you keep to yourself. But if you add personal touch to your story, to how you are so passionate about life science, for example, to why you like working at Volvo Group so much, what you admire from this particular company, I think it will make your professional profile more appealing to the employers.
Absolutely. How would you suggest then, in terms of the internship, should they kind of very much highlight that in their CVs when they're applying for their next jobs? Do you recommend that during their internship period they should continue applying for jobs as well?
Absolutely. It is actually required for them to keep on applying as part of the plan together with Arbetsförmedlingen.
Okay.
So during the internship, you are required to look for jobs, because internship is not the end game. The end game is you getting an employment. And we understand that. The participating employers understand that. So they have to also give space and give time for you. For example, you're on a working day, but you got an interview with another company, a job interview with another company. So you have the right to come to that job interview as part of your job searching plan together with Arbetsförmedlingen. So as long as we keep it transparent, so that's also something that we keep reminding our interns. Be transparent. Your Swedish colleagues will appreciate your transparency. Tell them that you are required to apply jobs, and you need time, sometimes maybe 1 or 2 hours, or you can also do the weekend, of course. But tell them if you have interview as well, and tell them if you are interested in a position in that company that you're interning at. I think to have an open discussion and transparency, I think it will make the process a whole lot smoother.
What would be your general recommendation? Because also then, obviously, in order for applicants to have more internship opportunities, we obviously need more employers to want to
Yeah.
participate as well. What would be your recommendation? Because obviously there are a lot of companies that would be interested in participating, but they know they don't have the finances to hire that person afterwards. Do you suggest that they should apply to be one of the participating employers anyways, or is it generally better of like if you don't have the ability to hire somebody afterwards, then it's better not to participate.
Absolutely not. You don't have the requirement or obligation to hire the interns after. Of course, if you do have the finances and the opportunity to hire, we would be delightful. We would be very happy for that. But it is not required. It is not an obligation. What the participating employers are required to do is to mentor and to open doors, like open your network, guide the interns, give the interns something that they can learn from, give the interns room to develop within the organization, to grow, to upscale and upskill their competence, for example. So that's the main goal. I would say it's more a learning experience. If you get a job, that's a bonus. But I think what we keep reminding the interns, focus on your professional growth during the internship. I think job will come naturally after.
Yeah.
If you can focus on your on developing yourself during this important 4 months period, for example.
Absolutely. So I think then for any like startups or small companies out there that are interested in having interns and interested in participating in mentoring and helping them kind of grow and prepare them for the Swedish market, you're not discouraged from being an employer in this case if you have a small team where you know you can't hire them afterwards, because there's no expectation to do so. The main thing is like the learning and the network that you can help create for these interns as well. So I think
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely,
important, so
Saya.
that people don't disqualify themselves.
Yeah.
Perfect. Those were the main questions. Thank you so much for this, and I hope that there are some more people out there that know about Jobbsprånget, and especially ex-Northvolters. This is a very good opportunity that Jobbsprånget has worked quite hard to try to fast track this as well, because obviously these are all quite current events that you've been working with, and trying to navigate that and create something that can be valuable. And I've seen kind of firsthand both the value in the Northvolt initiative, but also just Jobbsprånget in general. Is I've seen people that have come out of that as well. So we do encourage you to apply. Make sure that you fulfill the requirements, that you follow all of the processes to make sure that you qualify as well. And a good thing then for newcomers to Sweden, if you qualify, it's great to start kind of this laying the groundwork for this as early as possible. So registering for Arbetsförmedlingen and having those initial meetings, we do encourage you to start that as soon as possible, because we know that the recruitment process can take a long time. So the earlier you lay the groundwork for that, the better. Laras, was there anything else that you just wanted to make sure that everybody heard or that you wanted to get out there?
I think I've mentioned everything that I need to talk about, but yeah, just follow us on our social media channels to get the latest updates. I think we're quite present in our channels, so you can get the latest information if we have something new.
Perfect. So everyone make sure to follow Jobbsprånget on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments of this event, because this will stay online, and we can take a look and answer it over the next few days as well. And then we will be putting the links for different Jobbsprånget links, so specifically the main link, as well as the Northvolt link and contact details for anybody that would be interested in learning more. And then we may actually, maybe we'll just put the information about the eligibility in there as well, so that people can read it. But thank you everybody who joined. Thank you, Lara, so much for this as well. This has been really informative, and I hope that both applicants and employers are interested in joining this program as well. Thank you very much, everybody, and have a good rest of the day. Bye.
Thank you, Saya. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.